I've had in mind for some time the idea of trying to make a remote wildlife camera using a Wi-Fi camera from a drone. Now most of these Wi-Fi cameras work with a phone app. They have a good range, and I happen to have a couple of spare ones lying around. This is a Wi-Fi camera from a Sima X8. You can buy them as a spare part anyway, so you could always use one if you wanted. Now the Sima camera here, if you attack it with a screwdriver, 4-lip self-tappers, this is what you'll find inside. Tiny little camera. I've already wired some gubbins on that. I'll tell you about that in a second. It's a tiny little camera. That's the aerial. I've moved the aerial as well on this to make it more efficient because it hangs upside down and that's the way I wanted it to go. I've also refocused it by taking it apart and turning that little lens, but that's quite a tricky job. So that's the Wi-Fi camera. Now the Sima camera is actually powered via a jack plug and needs 5 volts DC, but what I've done here is I've wired straight into the circuit board, and I'm using a 7805 5-volt regulator, which means that I can power it with anything from 6 or 7 volts upwards. This is a 2S 1000 milliamp LiPo, which gives about 7.4 volts they say. So this 5-volt reg will actually drop the voltage down to 5 volts and give you a constant 5 volts. They're dead easy to wire up. You can Google the thing, 7805, but basically it's power in on one side, anything you like, up to about 10-12 volts. This does get a bit hot. And it's 5 volts out the other side. Alternatively, even easier still, if you've got a USB power pack that gives out 5 volts, you could use an old cable. The red and black is generally speaking the 5 volts out, but check it with a meter. And then of course you could just wire it straight via a JST. You can buy these dead cheap and plug it straight into the camera that way, and that'd give you quite a long duration of recording time, potential recording time. So all I've had to do basically to get this thing to work is find some rubbish way of mounting it. This is an old dash cam mount and a bulldog clip. You'll see that in a second. Hang it up in a tree whilst monitoring on my phone or tablet, and this is what you see. You have to be very patient as a wildlife photographer, as I've just discovered. But basically the advantage of a remote camera and being able to operate from a Wi-Fi app is you can watch the scene, and when something happens you can hit record the action, and then you can stop. So interesting little experiment. You might find it useful if you want to play around and mess around with gadgets. This actually works upside down, as you can see. Right, well that's about it as far as this goes. If you've enjoyed this, maybe you'd like to hit subscribe. I'm sorry it's not another action camera, but there are 51 on my channel now, and I don't think there are many more to do, so hence I'm not getting many more action cameras to test. I am reviewing a model aircraft in the next couple of weeks that's coming from Banggood. Very cheap, looks like a lot of fun. If you've enjoyed it, why not hit subscribe and the little notifications bell, and then you'll get an email when I upload another video. So here's the test clip. It's very short and sweet. Hopefully I shall get some more clips in the not too distant future. So here's the clip anyway. Now you could either download this, or of course you can watch it on the app. But that's actually a long-tailed tit. And a pretty good close-up view of it. It wasn't there for very long.